Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Cub and welcome back to my place. Today we're doing another episode of Cub's Lab where the graphic is too tall and cuts off my chin, but I'm too lazy to just make it smaller, so that's what it's going to be. And I'm not going to change it. Today we are going back to try to tackle the problem of using two capture cards, the Elgato Game Capture HD60 Pros, and one computer while also playing a game on that one computer. Now last time, dual instances of OBS worked pretty well. I had a lot of trouble with drivers though, so I contacted Elgato that night before I went to bed, and the next morning they sent me an email and was like, hey, there is indeed a special driver that you need, so if you folks are looking for that, you can just email Elgato. They'll get back to you real snappy with a link to that. I would link to it myself, but it's experimental, and they said it might not be stable. Now the thing is, I've heard about this elusive, secretive, special driver on the internet for quite a while now, so I don't know if they ever plan on actually releasing it, or if it's always going to just be this thing that you have to reach out to them for, but you can reach out to them yourself. I won't link to it because I don't want to be that guy that everyone's like, hey, it's not working, what's up with the link, and the link's broken. Just contact Elgato, they're great, they'll get back to you fast. I've got it installed, and sure enough now it shows two Elgato devices in my computer instead of one, and then several Elgato helper device things. That was a weird issue. I'm about to test it though, so let's hop over there. We're going to load up Battlefront again because that's what we've been using. I want to make sure we get sort of the same, I want to run the same test basically. I want to be in the same game, the same level, the same settings, because I don't want to fudge the numbers any. I want to make sure that we're creating the exact same scenarios last time. Folks have asked me what the settings are, and the settings in OBS are kind of complicated, so I'm not going to go into them in extreme detail, but we are using the NVIDIA built-in H264 encoder. I think it's NVBC, NVEC codec. I'm not entirely sure. I forget what it's called. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, it'll be there. AMD has something similar. I don't know what it's called, but if you just go to OBS, you can choose between software encoding, hardware encoding, all the different options, and you should see either AMD or NVIDIA in there. You can select one of those. Try it out yourself. I'm not going to tell you, even if I did know the settings exactly, I would not share them with you, because when you do that, people try to mimic your settings and then they don't work, and they comment that it's not working and demand help. I'm not going to help you. Everyone's computer is completely different. You're going to have to work with the settings and try to find something that works good for your setup. Now let's go see what works good for mine. Let's just go give it a try. Woo! Alrighty folks, well, we have got it set up. We are going again on screen one, of course. We have got my game running here. I think I reset some of the graphic settings because we did tone them down a bit last episode, so I think I turned them back up. On screen number two, I've got another one of my videos playing. Now, I noticed, this is interesting. This is something I didn't realize when I recorded last time. I didn't find out until I started editing. But for some reason, OBS cannot display the second screen in full motion, but the video records much smoother than it previews, right? So the instant preview is really jittery, and actually that makes sense because I am recording two separate things and also trying to record my own personal computer that is running a game. So real quick, another thing to note, with that driver installed, it was instant. I selected the two different devices, Elgato 1, Elgato 2, and no issues. The only issue I did find, and let's go ahead and hop into Galactic Empire and start playing. And again, we're playing the exact same thing we did in the last episode. And on the loading screen, we've got 70 frames per second. Oh my gosh, that's totally inaccurate. We're just staring at a blank screen, nothing's happening. Let's get in there. Oh my word. Okay, so I'm definitely pulling a solid 70 frames per second now. It's dipping down into 60. Obviously, there's nothing going on over here. We're just standing alone in a field of snow, but that is at least a 15, even pushing 20 frames per second increase in performance using that using that driver. Sorry, I'm still getting over a cold, so I've got phlegm in the back of my throat, which I'm sure you all wanted to know and visualize. Now, again, both of the recordings look choppy in the live previews, but we'll see how that turns out in the actual video. When I start editing, it might not be the case. Good grief, I got shut out there. I'm sure you noticed. Now, I also noticed the videos would not record, and I went into settings, and I noticed that both of them were set up to use GPU 1 instead of GPU 0. So apparently, I could set each one up to use a separate GPU if I had two GPUs, which is tempting, because I could just buy like a super cheap
GPU, throw it in there, and use its built-in N64 encoder. I think like everything from the 600 series onward has a built-in H.264 encoder. So, but of course that would mean I'd need another PCI slot, which we learned in the last episode. I do not have one. So I'd have to get a whole new motherboard. And if that were the case, I would go ahead and just go for broke and get a new chipset. Go for like the X99 chipset and get like a 6-core and not have to worry about this at all. It'd be plenty powerful at that point. Alright, so now that we're in the action, we're being shot at a bit, there's a lot going on. We've definitely dipped down into the low 60s. I haven't been paying attention to it. It might have dipped into the 50s at some point. But it's still much, much more solid than it was before. I love playing against bots. They're just so dumb. It gives you such, like, a boost in morale. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Someone noted in the last episode, and I noticed this too, for whatever reason, turning on VSync did make it look smoother. Now, VSync shouldn't really affect the smoothness of it, because what VSync is designed to do is keep your game refreshing at the same frequency as your monitor, so 60 hertz, or in my monitor's case, I guess 59.94 hertz, so 59.94 frames per second, and that should decrease screen tearing. What I usually find that it does is actually keep the frame rate at or below 60, so as you can see now, we seem to be holding 60 pretty well, dipping down into the upper 50s. But for whatever reason, in the recording, it did actually look like it helped. Let's see if we can get rid of this guy here. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm even bothering trying to properly play the game. This is just a test. Okay, I'll be honest. It depends on what this looks like when I go into edit. Sorry, I'm trying to laugh and cough at the same time. This looks like it's working. This looks like it's working way better than I ever thought it could. Now, one of the ideas I had was because... Really, we record everything at 60 FPS, only on Blackhead Bros, that is. I record everything at 60 FPS, as well as on my main channel, but I was thinking we could turn it down to 30 to maybe increase the performance here using 2 capture devices. Of course, going from 60 to 30 would not have the amount of resources you would need. That's not how it works. But, you know, in theory, we would use less resources using 2 streams at 30 FPS than we would 2 streams at 60. But I don't know if we're going to have to do that. I mean, the only things we actually upload at 60 FPS would be, I guess, GTA 5 and, oh man, what is that fantastic Overwatch, Minecraft, and everything else we just upload at 60 FPS, because what's it matter? Should I actually... Oh, that's not the right button. That was F. That wasn't E at all. Goodness me. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the confusion. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. How are you doing? How are you? Are you doing good? You taking care of yourself? Good. Alright, now, while we're in here, might as well go back to settings and check video and turn everything back up to... Oh, it's already back on Ultra! I forgot that I did that. Okay, then. Well, folks, everything on Ultra, we are holding 60 frames per second, and it looks like both videos are recording perfectly. Listen to me right now, Elgato. That's, I think I keep interchanging Elgato and NVIDIA. I'm sorry, they're definitely 2 separate companies. But listen to me right now, Elgato. That experimental driver you've got, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead and release it. It's wonderful. Again, if you want that, definitely contact Elgato. They'll get it to you quick. I went to sleep, and literally the next morning I woke up. After my healthy 6.5 hours of sleep, I woke up and they had it sorted, so that is great. I'm really happy with this. Like, again, the real test is going to be when I watch back the footage and see how it all edits together. But so far, so good. I'll tell you what, so far, so stinking good. I'm really pleased. Are there any more objectives I should be making? I'm not even sure. Are there any more uplinks that need to be shut down? I've got no idea what's going on. I'm certainly not paying attention. Is it? I don't really want to attack it. I'm not in the mood right now. I'm having way too much fun, just running around, shooting bots. There is this lightness in my soul right now. My heart is fluttering. I've got 2 separate instances of OBS, recording 2 separate 2 separate video streams from 2 different capture cards. All is well in the world. Everything I've ever wanted has succeeded. Well, that didn't succeed, but you know what? We'll just... It's not like any of them are doing anything. What is the point of this mode? Is this meant to be challenging? I don't understand. Even when you shoot them, they don't shoot back. Whoa! Wait, are headshots like one-shot kills? Hold still. What? Oh my goodness! I'm learning all kinds of things. What about at a distance? I guess probably not. It probably has like, it's a laser of energy. It probably like decreases over distance. Here we go. Nope, look at that. Why did I not know this? Should have known this a long time ago. Well, folks, my name is Cub. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to throw it in the editor. I'm going to see what it looks like. I'll see y'all there.
And my time of being a happy boy was so short-lived. I watched back the footage. You folks would have watched it as I was playing, obviously, so y'all already saw it. A little fuzzy on monitor 2, and monitor 1 was very chappy. Now, it might be a different case when I load it into the editor. It could be that the computer, my gaming computer with the 3770K and a Titan X, was for whatever reason playing it back choppy. I have my doubts on that, but we'll see when I throw it on my Mac and we start editing it. This has been a fun experiment. Okay, we know it does theoretically work. I might fiddle around with some of the settings and see if I can figure out a way to make it work better. If not, look, I now have 2 cards and they are both working. I can load them both into a single instance of OBS and just toggle between them. And that could be an option for us moving forward. But I'll have to give that a test. And you know what? We'll see. I guess we'll see when I try to record next time with my little bro what happens. This has been another entrance of Cubs Lab. Cubs Lab, now sponsored by our executive producer. Probably Reese All-Star for today because that's the name that just popped into my head. See you folks later.